I know you said XRP needs price appreciation where the stock market can be tokenized and settled. Why wouldn't they choose a different token? I read there are others that can. So probably talking about Canton or Ondo or Security. There's a couple different blockchains or companies that have been tapped by these exchanges to tokenize the stocks. Yes. However, those tokens don't facilitate back-end settlement. They are for the governance of those networks, and they pay fees in order for you to be able to leverage the network, but they don't actually settle between the clearinghouses and the brokers. So settlement is different than the tokenization of these assets themselves, but it kind of works in tandem. It's almost like same thing for getting ISO 20022 in place. It's not a direct corollary for instant settlement, but it is a precursor. Like that has to be in place and it has to be standardized before you can move that direction. So when the president of NASDAQ last year at Swell was interviewed by Monica Long, I was sitting in the audience. I was about 20 feet from her. I got to listen to her talk about the first application where they're going to be using distributed ledger technology is going to be on the back end of the stock market between the clearinghouses and the brokers through the DTCC. Many people have misconstrued the DTCC investing in Canton with them like absolutely using Canton. And they may use Canton for tokenization of stocks, but the settlement component is going to be through Project Ion. Project Ion was finalized between the DTCC and R3 back in 2022, August of that year. It's the longest standing piece of anything that the DTCC has built or trialed for settlement of the back end of the stock market. The primary settlement mechanism for R3 is, you guessed it, XRP. So if there is enough liquidity in XRP and regulatory clarity, that's what they're going to use. People have said that they're going to use XDC. They could. Maybe it's Solana, right? R3 is also partnered with Solana at this point. Do you think that they're going to use a network that's ever gone down in the past? They don't have a tolerance for that, especially if this is going to run 24/7, 365. They need something that's been trialed for, I don't know, 13 or 14 years that's never been down, not one time. I can only think of one network that fits that bill. So why would they use something else? They wouldn't. This is the only option that's viable under the current circumstances and for the constraints that are required in order to be able to operate that at scale. So the only solution is they have to drive enough liquidity into that token to then sit in that position as the intermediary on the back end between the clearinghouses and the brokers to be able to settle those transactions real time. And they're going to use Project Ion, and its primary settlement mechanism is going to be XRP. And again, that's my thesis on it.